the 26th of December 2004. We just had Christmas, we were all at home as a family. We were watching TV when news broke that an earthquake had struck off the north of Sumatra, Indonesia. This earthquake sent a tsunami which devastated many countries across Southeast Asia. I'm Andrew, and this is how we responded to the tsunami. We as a family, we talked, we knew we had to do something, we had to act. Because of our years of travelling, we'd been to many countries across the world. So we weren't really sure where we should go. So we sent an email to our friends in these different countries that had been impacted. And we said to them, look, if you want us, let us know. And a friend in Thailand emailed us back and said, we need you, please come. So we didn't really have a way of getting out there. A lot of the airlines at the time were trying to fly people out of the countries. They weren't really taking a lot of people in. So we contacted an airline that we had flown on. We've flown on them a lot. It's KLM. And we said, listen, we're a charity. We want to go to Thailand. We want to help the people that have been devastated by the tsunami. And we said, look, would you please give us free flights there and back? And would you help transport a lot of equipment that we want to take? You know, many people, when an opportunity like this comes up, they get bogged down with the details. How am I going to figure this out? We don't have the money. You know, sometimes you just have to think creatively, think outside of the box to be able to try and make something happen. And so that's what we did, contact an airline that we knew, that we travel with, and said, look, no one's going, we want to go and help, would you give us free flights? And they said, yeah, absolutely, and we'll also help take 1/4 ton of equipment out there for you. So we started rallying around, seeing if people would give us equipment, everything from sledgehammers to chainsaws to toys for children out there. And we went 3 days later. So we landed in Thailand on the 29th of December, and we went to our friend and we set up disaster relief in Bang Tao, Phuket. Now, at the time, it wasn't advisable in the community that we went to for white people to go there, and actually through the tsunami it opened a door up for us to be able to go in and interact with some of these people and build relationships. But it was probably not the situation, obviously, but it's probably one of the most impactful trips that I've ever had. It was one of my favourite trips, the opportunity to help people that have gone through something so devastating, to help them rebuild their lives, their livelihoods, the way to be able to earn money. And we also took it as an opportunity to help train other people. You know, we knew these disasters were going to happen more and more in the years ahead. They're going to get more and more devastating. And so we took a group of people out there on that first trip. We actually went twice, both times taking people to train them in disaster relief. And actually years later, when Katrina hit New Orleans, some of the people that we trained in Thailand were the first responders in New Orleans, which is what we love to see. We love to see people being equipped to go out and make a difference, be light in the darkness. You know, I was leading one of the teams that would go out, and we had our own area where we were cleaning up and helping to rebuild things, helping families, reaching out to them, and so that we had a number of different teams. And I remember we were out doing work, and for the first week, no one in the community that was still there really interacted with you. They seemed to not like that we were there. And after a week, there was something very specific happened. We were out because these children started to return back to the community. And while we were playing with the kids, one of them, he was running and cut his foot open on some glass. And one of the people on the trip with us, he was a big DEA officer from America, he picked this child up, and we were interacting with the community saying we need to take this child to our medic, to our base. And so they sent someone with this child, and while this person that was with us was cleaning the wound, he felt like he heard God say to wash this child's feet. So while he was seeing to the wound, he washed the child's feet and was praying. And it was like the next day, the doors opened to the community. Suddenly everyone was coming out and engaging with us, even giving us water and coconut rice and things like this. And it was like something had changed in the atmosphere, and we were able to engage a lot more with the community. I won't go into a lot of those details, but it was fascinating to see the things that God was doing in that situation. And I remember talking to my team as these kids were starting to show up at the end of the days, and I'd say, look, in reality, we're here for them. We're here for the people, for the community, for these kids. So whenever the children start to show up, we're going to stop the work that we're doing, and we're just going to play with these kids. And I may have some pictures. If I do, I'll insert them in the video. But it was such a powerful time. And there were so many crazy things that happened during that trip. At one point, we had around 200 volunteers there. People would show up at the border in Thailand, and security would be saying, we're not letting anyone in. They were very proud. They were saying, we can handle this on our own. We don't want international support. But people would stay and say to them, look, we are not leaving this country until we're allowed to go and help. So we had backpackers and people like that all just showing up. And so security say, we're not letting you in. And when they refused to leave without helping, someone at security would slide our contact details across to them and say, look, okay, we'll let you in, contact these people. And so we had about 200 volunteers at one point. And we had people raising support, finances all around the world, sending it to us so that we could buy more equipment and diggers and things like that to come in and do some heavy work. And there was a Thai Mafia found out what was happening, and they wanted a cut of the deal. They wanted a slice of the pie. And so they sent some people to confront us about this. And our friend, he was a former US Marine, and we had some police, the DEA officer. So we had a number of people that knew how to handle themselves there. And so the Mafia turned up saying, hey, we want some of the money which is coming in. And so there was this showdown between the Thai Mafia and our guys. And I think, fortunately, the Thai Mafia backed down and left us alone. They realized that they weren't going to push us over and just walk away with money. That could have been a bit of an interesting situation. But fortunately, they backed down and left us alone. But it was probably one of the most impactful trips I've ever been on. That kind of opportunity to reach out to people which are hurting and going through a devastating situation, to be able to engage in their lives, bring light to them, bring a glimmer of hope, to be able to help provide opportunities for them again, to be able to earn money. It wasn't just us building a house for them, it was us helping them to get the port working again, to give them boats and nets so that they can go and start fishing and earn money from that. And we did 2 trips. The second trip we went back and ended up building a playground for these kids again, giving them a safe area to have fun and be children. And some of those kids remembered us from the first trip, and they would come running over and we would play with them again and say hi and get to engage with their families. I'm sure there's lots of details of different things that happen that I'm not thinking about right now, but just encourage you, wherever you're from, if you see opportunities like this. I know in America they might have lots of tornadoes or hurricanes, or you might have monsoons and tsunamis in different areas, or flooding maybe where you are in England. Wherever you are, if you see these things happening, look at the opportunities afterwards to see how you can be light in those situations. How can you help the people around you? So this is one story from our ministry from over the years. This is from 2004. And we're going to do a series of stories and telling you lots of things that have happened to us, situations that we found ourselves in. Some of them will be serious, some of them will be funny, but it will also give you a glimpse behind the scenes of the work that we do all over the world. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, please hit that like button. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and until next time, we'll catch you later.